Hello and welcome to Two Trees Gaming. It's a really exciting day today. We've got a brand new Shelob and a brand new book to go through. This is our first ever unboxing video. Let's see how it goes. So it's the first Saturday of release and I've been down to the friendly local gaming store and I picked up Shelob for £29.99 and the Treachery of Gollum for £14.75, that's pounds. And we're going to see what they're like. Full spoilers ahead, of course. I'm going to go through Shelob first, and then in the second half of the video, I'm going to go through some of the highlights from the book. I'll try not to spoil the whole thing, but this is your warning. Anything that jumps out at me, I'm going to share with you guys. But I know there's no new army lists in here, and I know there's no new models or profiles, so I have tempered my expectation. I'm expecting it to be like the War of the Rohirrim book, which I managed to get through in a night at Aaron's house while we were filming in Edinburgh. But we'll see. I'm excited for the Treachery of Gollum, but first we're going to start with Shelob, brand new plastic kit from Games Workshop. And of course it comes with Gollum and Frodo. If you can count that as a Frodo. I saw somebody put on the GBHL, can this be used as a Frodo? If it's playing Louis and he's bought his Barrow Whites, you can definitely use that Frodo. I enjoy the random shuffling through Middle-earth boxes at gaming stores, but to get the box art makes you excited to buy it again. And obviously it's great for new players. No way. That is all on one sprue. Or I've got something defective, but that's really compact sprue. Gollum looks like he's in a lot of pieces. There's some legs there. I can see his head. Is that Gollum's arms? The Wildmen were an absolute nightmare to stick up with their individual faces. But the standard of models has just gone, it's just skyrocketed. You can really tell the difference between the old Rohan and the new Rohan. Let's see how the Shelob sticks together, and then we're going to dive into the bit I'm really excited about, which is the book. I've just opened the first page. That isn't the first instruction, but it looks like it's basically saying, stick legs on Shelob. Okay, I'll do that. Oh, there's so much more to it. Let's go. What could go wrong? I've got two glue options. I normally go with the Jarvis Scenics thick glue. I use that for super glue and regular glue. It actually sticks to plastic and the metal and the fine cast equally well. But I've also got some Citadel plastic glue, which is of course what Games Workshop recommends you use. You know when you're sticking a model up and you're like, oh, that's his arm, that's his sword, that's his face. This is just two globs of stuff. I have no idea what I'm sticking together here. There's a lot of just like shuffling bits together until it snaps. But you'll think, oh, is that right? Is that right? And then eventually, when it clicks, you just know you've got it right. It can't possibly be wrong. So you just keep going until you get that moment. And then you inevitably do what I've just done and pick up the piece again and lose the orientation. Where did that go? What I'm appreciating though is the actual instructions. It sounds ridiculous, but I just stuck up a beach bone and I had to refer to a key and hold the leaf up in the right orientation so it could go in the right place and that kind of thing. This is very, very clear and easy to follow. Rocks. There we go. That is the start of the path, or pass, of Cirith Ungol. It did take me a little longer than I thought it would to just stick up two rocks. Obviously I've been talking to camera and things like that, but it's already been 25 minutes. But let's do Shelob and then go from there. This particular Shelob is going to be used for the arena. Hopefully you've been following along with that. As of what we've released, nobody has reached Shelob yet, but the old one will be replaced with this new one. Just really excited to get it on the table though, and hopefully play against it a little bit. There's some good, I don't know if it's a GT super competitive level army, Cirith Ungol, but it's solid. It's got a lot you can do with it. Just the sheer amount of numbers and animosity combined makes it a proper threat in a game. And then obviously Shelob is the model we want to talk about today. In that list, she gets buffed, she gets the extra attack or against hobbits and men, and she can eat orcs to get free heroic moves, which she really needs. She's kind of a objective grabber or a smash around the back, take out a banner, take out a hero, knock over opponent's cavalry kind of model. But the way I think I would use her, no, not the way I think I would use her, an interesting way to use her would be in the Army of the Great Eye, where you could pair her with a Ringwraith, which has got Harbinger of Evil, and then you could have the Eye of Sauron banner, maybe follow her around the map a little bit. Then she's always kind of got 2 dice. She's still fight value 7, still defense 7, still 6 wounds. albeit with survival instinct. Could be interesting. Could be interesting. The actual Shelob is flying together now. Now I do know what I'm sticking up. Before, when I was looking at a rock saying, I don't know how you know what you meant to put together. Well, now I can see. And if you're an arachnophobe, there's a lot of like gross details in the best possible way. There's some kind of like pus sacs on her back. I don't know what they are. You've got the stinger. It's just awesome. What an incredible model, and the detail is incredible. And this is so much better than sticking up the metal one, which is the last one that I did. I don't know if she ever had a Forge World release, but those metal legs were an absolute disaster. I don't think that's going to be the case with these plastic ones. I can't help but think of conversion opportunities as well. I'd love to do climbing up the side of the Bridge of Minas Morgul, or well, Louis kind of did that when he magnetized her underneath those Morgul Knights all that time ago, but maybe something like that that will tie into whatever army she's taken with, that maybe isn't Cirith Ungol, that maybe is Army of the Great Eye. And that is Shelob done, and wow, I mean, she is my new favourite model. That is incredible. I'll take a picture or two and stick it on the screen, but I love the detail, the character, I love the scenic base. Not sure about the 80mm in terms of gameplay, but I don't think it's going to change too much. She's a tank, she can take a hit. Who knows, but in terms of the way it looks, that is just incredible. Look at that. That is genuinely my new favourite model in the range now. Wow. Frodo's going to be quite easy. He's just going to stick some feet on and he's done. I've never really noticed that Frodo's feet stick up quite like this when I've watched the film before. But his feet are very much 90 degrees from his body. That's Frodo done. Okay, Gollum. That is awesome. He's so cool. I mean, that is the first properly great Gollum model we've got. Really, really detailed. Absolutely love it. Really weird choice. Why did they make Gollum and Shelob now? I have literally no idea. I'm very happy with them redoing older sculpts. I appreciate we can't get new sculpts, new profiles all the time. And I would take a few old ones redoing. Shelob wouldn't have been near the top of my list for that. Maybe it was easier for them to do, or maybe they were expecting her to appear in the Hunt for Gollum movie at the end of 2027. So maybe we've got a new Gollum and Shelob ready for that. Who knows? Or maybe they were already done and they want to get it out well in advance of that movie, so they're not kind of going to cross over. Who knows? But really, really cool models. Genuinely, that Gollum and Shelob are probably two of my favourite models in the range now. I'm getting a bit poorly. It's a bit late at night, but I'm just so excited to go through this book. I've got to do it now, otherwise I'll just be up in bed thinking about it. I'm just going to flick through and go through some of the highlights with you guys. Do you know what? I've opened that on a picture of the Black Gate. If that had been a new Aragorn or Troll Chief, I don't know what I would have done. This first scenario is actually incredible. So it's exactly what I wanted from this book. It's just a completely different way to play the game, and it properly narrative. It involves the evil player or the good player looking away while the Shelob player gets to move Shelob in secret. It's 9 1x1 tiles in a 3x3 grid that have got entrances in the center of each tile. The evil player, who is controlling only Shelob, arranges them how they want and then covers the tops of them over so that the good player can't see what's underneath. The good player, who's just controlling some orcs, they've got a Mordor captain and 12 orcs, then has to explore, and as they move on to new tiles, they might reveal Shelob, or they might reveal a web, which Shelob can use to teleport around the battlefield if she's out of sight. And all they've got to do is get off the opposite board edge. Really, really cool idea for a scenario. I made something similar once with the streets of Minas Tirith, where Pippin was trying to meet up with Gandalf, and the streets would kind of be revealed as you played the game, just to kind of show the maelstrom of battle. But this is a much better version. Love it. And then the second scenario is the Taming of Smeagol, which looks to be a reprint or very similar to the Quest of the Ringbearer scenario. I remember listening to it on Entmoot, which I thoroughly recommend that podcast, and they played it quite a few times. Sometimes they enjoyed it, but sometimes it came down to you roll a 6 and the sleeping hobbits wake up. They can then get on Smeagol and it's kind of game over. I wonder if they could have done something a little more with that. And so I've got dead marshes here. And then we've got Dead Marshes here. I might be missing something. Apart from the new artwork, it looks like it's identical, which is a shame. Having said that, I never got around to playing it originally, and I really wanted to, so I will give it a try this edition, but, you know, they maybe could have thought of another way of doing it. In the Quest of the Ringbearer, we then have Ambush and Athelion, which we haven't got, and we go straight onto a Skiliath, which again, at first sight, looks like it's a reprint. And then what have we got? We've got Escape Through the Sewers. I don't remember that one from Quest of the Ringbearer. Yeah, it's not there. So let's have a look at Escape Through the Sewers. This looks like a really cool little scenario. So it's on a 2x2 board, and it's Frodo, Sam and Gollum trying to snake their way out of the sewers. There's lots of rubble and debris for them to hide behind. And basically there's going to be some objective markers which are going to represent patrolling orcs. And then if the hobbits can draw a line of sight to them, it's going to drop an amount of orcs based on what it says on the table onto that objective marker, who will then act like sentries patrolling around. Cool little stealth game. It's probably like a one and done, but I really like the idea of it. And the actual sewers themselves, I'm interested to see how they've made them, which I know is coming later in the book. I'd love to see a display board with kind of a Skiliath on top and some sewers down below. I'm trying to talk Louis into it for the GT. Whether he's going to or not, I don't know. Smeagol's Treachery is next, which is a little game where you move along a set of cards. It's a mini game, but it's repeated from the Quest of the Ringbearer again, which is a bit of a shame. It might have been tightened up in the rules. I didn't actually ever play this one, but it is what it is. So Shelob's Lair. Right, so Shelob's Lair is obviously in the Quest of the Ringbearer, but it's a completely different scenario. And this Quest of the Ringbearer one is one we've had for years and years and years, where you've got Shelob one end, Frodo in the middle, Sam arriving, and then they battle until Shelob runs away or Sam dies. Let's see how they've changed it. Okay, this is a cool scenario. So this isn't the scenario I thought it was, where it's Sam going to rescue Frodo. This is Frodo getting caught by Shelob. So Shelob's basically got to escape the board via the opposite board edge, and the tiles are set up as they were in that first Path of Cirith Ungol scenario, where it's a 9 1x1 board sections, and then they're covered over with both Smeagol and Shelob hiding. Essentially, Frodo's got to pass intelligence checks, or Smeagol can lead him the wrong way. Shelob can appear if he gets too close to a web, and then she's going to charge either Frodo or Smeagol, but obviously the evil player is controlling Smeagol. It's very cool. He gets bonuses of +1 to wound and 2 attacks against Shelob, which I don't think is necessarily reflective of what happened in the film or the book, but that looks like a cool little scenario and another way to use your Shelob's Lair tiles. And then the next one is the Bravery of Master Samwise. So it's on a 1x1 board, and it's basically a fight to the death, or a fight till Shelob runs away, depending on what happens. But Sam's going to cause terror thanks to the Light of Erendil. He's going to automatically pass his courage checks, and if the duel roll is a draw with Shelob, he's going to win that fight. This is Samwise the Brave now. And she doesn't have to be removed as a casualty if she fails her survival instinct rolls, but she backs D6 away from Sam if she does fail them, so he can keep batting her away. And if she touches one of the exits, one of the ways out of the board, then she's removed as a casualty, and Sam wins the fight. He gets +1 to wound against her as well because he's got Sting, but cool scenario that. And obviously Sam comes with 2 attacks base. He's got a couple of might points. Not going to take long to play at all, but really like that. I love the idea of doing the Shelob's Lair and then the Bravery of Master Samwise, and then... Wait, what? The end of all things? I thought it would be the Cirith Ungol scenario. I haven't missed a page. So this is the scenario I was expecting. This is Quest of the Ringbearer, where Sam goes up into Cirith Ungol, and Gorbag and Shagrat are there, and he's obviously got to fight them off. There's none of that, but I suppose it's because this is the Treachery of Gollum, not the Quest of the Ringbearer. So this is Gollum's story, but obviously Gollum's not in the fight with Sam and Shelob. I think they probably could have included that, even if it meant renaming the book. So the last scenario is the end of all things, which is the battle at the Black Gate happening at the same time as Frodo trying to destroy the ring, which is always really cool. But I do think Cirith Ungol was missing here a little bit. Okay, let's go on to some of this hobby stuff. So we've got a how to paint Gollum, very, very cool. How to paint Shelob, which I will be trying to follow for the arena probably. And then we've got building Shelob's lair, which I would really like to do. It's basically stack some foam on top of each other, and then the crucial thing is make sure there's pathways out the middle so you can rearrange it however you want. This webbing is actually really cool. I'd like to try this, but maybe all over Mirkwood. Or maybe as a subterranean kind of board that would go into a Cirith Ungol as one big board, so you can fight through the paths or in the more open Cirith Ungol area. I like how simple they've kept everything. Like, it looks really good, like really, really good. But actually, that's achievable. It's just sand and stuff that you like, readily available hobby materials, and they've not gone here buy a load of Games Workshop products, which I also enjoy. And then it's the sewers, which uses the Osgiliath Ruins kit or the Osgiliath Mansion kit. Really, really cool. Look, that board there is great. So what we've done before in the past is host like 2x2 boards with 200-point armies on. Maybe I'll try making like sewers and Cirith Ungol for that. Could make a few 2x2 boards. Overall impression then, I'm absolutely in love with Shelob. I don't mind the new base at all. I think the model is incredible. It was very easy to put together. I'm really looking forward to painting it. It is my favourite model in the range now. Also absolutely loving Gollum. The book itself, I'm less impressed with. I don't like they've reprinted scenarios, especially because the new ones they've thought of seem like they're so much better than the old ones. Like maybe they learnt a bit and went back. And I know it's the Treachery of Gollum, but I feel like we're just missing a few scenarios, like the Path of Cirith Ungol, which happens because of Gollum. The hobby articles are actually really nice. The scenarios are good, ignoring the fact that they're reprints. So I think what it boils down to is this is for new players. If you're new to the game, you do not need a lot of models to play all the scenarios in this, and you get to use some of the big iconic models. Ringwraiths on Fellbeast, Gollum, Shelob. Ignoring the Black Gate battle, there's still Faramir in one of the scenarios, and of course Frodo and Sam, and you're going to recognise everything from the film. And there's a few fun ways to play with the covering the Shelob's lair and very accessible building tutorials. All of that is brilliant. If you've been playing for 25 years and you know your way around a hobby knife and you've got all the models already, it's probably a good weekend's of entertainment. If you're like, right, let's play Treachery of Gollum, play it on a weekend, read it on the Friday, play it the Saturday, Sunday, and you're kind of done. I don't hate it. I don't love it. It is what it is. If it had one army list, 2 double packs of models, a Frodo and Sam, and a Gorbag and Shagrat, that would be enough, and I'd be like, buy it. But because it's not got that, it's missing the competitive players, I think, but it's great for everybody else, and I'm just happy to see new Middle-earth strategy battle game products, including my brand new favourite model. Coming up on Two Trees Gaming, we've just filmed a 6,500 point battle. It's going to be a while before it's out, but can't wait to get that out to you. And I think very, very soon will be the Throne of Schools review dropping. We've just put it on the Patreon, so it'll be a week or so at most. See you again soon. Thanks for watching, and if you are a Patreon, hopefully you're enjoying that Throne of Schools review. Me and Louis filmed a whole journey down from Edinburgh, a big 7-hour drive, which I think we did 4 hours worth of recording. Going to cut that into podcasts. Some of that will go on the Patreon. Some will go here on YouTube, but you've got that to look forward to as well, amongst all the other battles we've filmed. But I am on battle reports now. Don't panic. See you again soon.